That little England sock what you've got on there? Oh.
No, it's like a philo one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought it was the old England shit.
An old school fella. Cheetah one.
Yeah.
That's going on the back.
I always get mistaken for like a referee when I wear it. But...
have to get your whistle out.
like a basketball referee or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, binning people in the nightclub.
God. Well, this is the Talk Tonight podcast. Today I'm joined by Johnny, Jay, and Sheppo from Colombia. How are you all doing today?
Good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. So
yeah, good stuff.
So Colombia, did the name come from that obvious Oasis tune on Definitely Maybe, or is you just like it, just like the word?
It's a bit of both. Like obviously,
there's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things that come under that the country's associated with. That we agree with as well.
The coffee.
We didn't have a name for it. We didn't have a name for ages, and then Tom, who's the other guitarist in the band, we were just having like a do in the studio when it was like 6 a.m. He just went, "Oh, why don't you call yourselves Columbia?" And we were just like, "Yeah."
It was Carl, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Carl.
Yeah. So that was it then. That was our name.
Yeah. We had some fucking shithead names there, like didn't we, before that lad. We were back and forth.
What were they?
Mangoes.
What was the one? Yeah, what was the one that you wanted, lad? What was it called?
Stellify
or something like that. Fucking terrible name, man. Fucking joke.
It's like
hey, thank fuck that never happened.
I don't know.
I think it's like one name, band names is like they seem more powerful, if you get what I mean. It's just like bang, that's our name.
Yeah, bang,
it is. It is, yeah.
I would never really want to be fucking called something like the something, you know what I mean?
I was about to say, like, there's a lot of the something, isn't there?
Yeah. That's it. The shite.
If I was in a band, that's probably what we'd be called. It just wouldn't
the referees.
The referees, yeah. We all have matching polos on.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? A whistle in your pocket.
Put out a card if the gig's not going right.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
That, you know.
Who are obviously the term influences is a big one, but all of you must have them. So who are your influences? And
Kobe Bryant.
Brilliant.
Influences, there's loads, to be honest with you. We've like, to be honest with you, that half of it, like, I don't know, I think it was only like 1 or 2 of us who was into bands and that, you know, like before we got into a band. The bands that I listen to or what we listen to, the majority of them are all like aren't together, you know what I mean, or just coming back like Verve and LG and all stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Xavier, lad, we like Xavier. Like.
Yeah. But current bands for me, I didn't really listen to them. I still don't, to be honest with you, until we got in the band ourselves and that, and then but the influences would be like be Oasis and stuff like that, because they're the well, in my opinion, the best band that there was, like, you know what I mean. So
a lot of our influences come from like dance music, like. Think when we sort of left school and that, we were proper into like dance music right up. Well, we still are.
Yeah.
So think like when you listen to some of our tunes, like they are like rock and roll tunes, but a lot of them have got like a little drop in here and there, and that's because that's what we've always been to. Like, you can't beat like a drop when it's live, sort of thing.
I know.
That's what I was sorry, as I was saying, like, when I listen to all the songs, I think not all of them are the same.
Yeah.
Like, a few of them are like toned down, just standard rock ones. Some of them, like you said, have got that drop or dance side to them, and that's good, you know, because then you're not stuck to one specific path.
I think a lot of bands like get it and sort of get this idea that, like, because they've got a style, they've got to stick to that style. Whereas we're not really like that. We like experimenting and stuff like that. So,
because we were relatively new to it as well. Like, obviously we didn't. that's what I mean. No really influencer, so we felt like we could just do whatever the fuck we want with our tunes.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's it. We've had to do with when it got certain songs. I mean, that Fat Cat is like that. That's like punky. It's got it like it's got the rises in it. It's got the drops and all that. But like, and then you've got Nothing Left For Me, which is just completely stripped back and softer. But I think it's good because it shows diversity for us. Shows that we're not just like a one-trick pony or whatever, and we've got one genre. We can do this. We can do that. I mean, some of our best tunes, no one's heard. Like some of our best tunes, people haven't heard yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I reckon, like we're in for the treat when people hear them. Like I reckon we'll get a lot more. We'll just
and
get
again,
like,
the show like diverse again. Even the newies, like we've got rock and roll bangers there, and then we've got also
anthem ones and that. Yeah.
So obviously you mentioned Fat Cats, which you released last Friday, was it? Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I think so. 23rd, whatever.
Yeah, that was it. How has that been received, and how did you come about writing that?
Boss, you know, we've got major write-ups about that. There's been a lot of write-ups in that, which is like we haven't had many write-ups, but we just like linked up with this with Alice at the Timeless, so she's got quite a few contacts to send our tunes out there.
Yeah,
and the tune came about really. The tune come about. We done a gig for we supported a band called, what would he call it?
We Are Scientists.
We Are Scientists. And we never had a fucking clue who he was. Like,
they're American,
we didn't know what a funny story. You know what, Jimmy? Our drummer Jimmy had these what would he call, like they look like fucking scaffold or something.
Fucking goalpost.
Yeah, there was like things that you clamp all your like your symbols and that too, you know, rather than having stands. And we thought it was like, oh yeah, we've got them there, sounding cool, and then we turned up and now We Are Scientists. What did you say? He came up and went, God, man, I haven't seen that since I was in 10th grade. Like that, so we were like, shit, I had to fuck them off and just get stands, you know what I mean? But yeah, but after that gig, our tunes, as you were saying, it was like quite slow. We had one or two fast-paced ones, but it were nothing on a level that We Are Scientists are. So all their crowd are like punk rockers, you know what I mean? So and we were just sat there playing like anthem tunes to these punks who weren't really having it, you know what I mean? So it was after
some bird slated me on Twitter. He started fucking going in on me saying
grabbing his crotch.
Grabbing his crotch and that, making sexual gestures.
Lad, fucking little purple-headed goth giving shit on Twitter, lad.
Yeah, but so after that gig, we thought, you know what, we need to step it up and make some rock tunes, and I think Fat Cats was probably the first one out of that we was like, we need to step it up. BTG,
and then shite gig that boys, weren't it?
Yeah, we weren't up too much that gig, like
it was ruthless.
It was horrible, like.
But like you take the positives because that
got some decent pictures out of it though.
Yeah.
Want to be like that in the mist.
Straight after it, like probably worthwhile in the end, really.
Yeah, it was about. To be fair, it was like you say, like everything happens and all that for the reason. So we needed to do that gig to step it up a notch and make some faster tracks and that, and then so we had the power chords and all that there.
To be fair, the venue was boss. We'd done it in the
Arts Club in town.
At the Arts Club in Liverpool, and the venue and the stage was boss. So being on a stage, that like a bigger stage in that, we wanted to turn up, and it just weren't the right crowd, really, was it?
Yeah.
But it was decent.
To learn from your mistakes, though. Yeah.
You take the positives and you go again, don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, that's where Fat Cats come from anyway. Just thinking we're going to have to rock it up. So she's gone home, got a few chords together, jammed it in the studio, and and just come up with like lyrics and a few melodies and like back and forward with the layout and all that, and then it come out to, and then Fat Cats was done pretty much quite quick, wasn't it? Back and forward, we did a bit of layout, like how it should be and stuff like that, but then that solo was just like, once we heard that, we knew that we needed a drop with that solo, and you know what I mean, and then I reckon we've nailed it, like, you know what I mean? I can imagine people going sick to that when you next see us and that, when we're next on, because people are not with and
like this lockdown, like there's people that want to come and see us, man. And the next show that we do, It's going to be fucking proper heavy, but it's just a nightmare, isn't it? Nightmare.
Yeah.
So as a band, how has it been for you during lockdown? Like, imagine it's been a nightmare.
At the start, it was good. We were in a competition on Twitter. It was like Battle of the Band sort of thing, and it was you had to put a link to one of the tunes. And like at the start of lockdown, we blew the arse off that, and we done well in it. And like we were fucking made up. You know what I mean? So at the start, we were like gaining more exposure. But obviously, as it goes on, we will just want to be getting out there and doing the gigs. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, isn't it?
But like, we literally, like I always say this because we started from scratch as far as like musical instruments go. We had a lot of time like catching up to do to compare to other bands, so we were practicing like 5-6 nights a week, every week for like 3 years, and then obviously once lockdown came, it went from like 5 nights a week to practically 0. So that's been hard to like get to grips with, and now we're like finally like the studios now are back open, we can get back in the swing of things.
That's all we knew as well, like getting in there with those 5 lads and just getting on the, because we didn't know nothing. That's all we knew, you know what I mean? We weren't them kids that can just sit at home. Obviously I'm speaking on behalf of the band here, but we're not them type of kids that can just sit at home and play the guitar, you know what I mean? And obviously some of us can and some of us can't. Most of us want to get it in there and do it as a 5 piece.
Yeah, it's better as a 5 piece, isn't it? Because you know what I mean?
So
especially if there's an idea for it. Go on, what?
You'll like play off each other, don't you?
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
So like if someone comes up with like a riff and you can't think of where to go with it or what way, then another member be like, oh, have you tried this way? And then that's how.
Yeah, exactly. If you're all in the same room, you can just like bump it, just gets put like it just gets dead and buried there, and then or it just gets like, yeah, what about this? What about that? Whereas if it's like, I'll send you this track, or I'll do this and that, it's hard to like say over internet and all that and social media and all that. Like, yeah, do this and do that. Whereas if you're in the studio, you can just be like, that, no, what you've done there, do it again, or you know what I mean? You can just bounce off each other in the studio.
Yeah.
In the practice room, whatever you want to call it.
Well, that part of it was tough, but I mean, like Sheppo said, like we've had a lot of, our fan base grew loads through lockdown. So I mean, it's like as your glass half full, half empty sort of thing, because we missed out on like loads of practicing, but at the same time, like I think beforehand we was doing our heads in a bit, like we felt like we weren't getting as much exposure as we sort of needed and we wanted.
Yeah.
We've got that now, so we're just supposed to like getting back out there properly now, because we've got.
To be fair, everything's set up perfectly now that we can just go and enjoy it, lad.
Amazing. So would you say the gig with We Are Scientists has been your favourite gig so far?
No.
Nah.
That was our turning point where we thought, shit, we're gonna have to make some rocky tunes. We can't just be playing these like anthems to every crowd. We need to like basically make our set diverse so we can fit to different crowds, because we don't support them from one gig to the next.
That weren't our favourite gig. We've done a gig in Glasgow. My favourite gig was probably, I've done a gig in Glasgow. And it was so heavy, like small venue. Packed, and we were
they are the best at small venues, aren't they?
That's what I mean. Imagine like
rowdy Glaswegians in the boozer all outside chatting shite to us and that. It was sick. Before this is going off, sick. Proper sick gig.
That would probably be the first one we done. Our first gig was 3 years ago today.
Wow.
And it's just like we could barely play. Like we messaged the fella who ran the club that we were playing in, asking if he had a gig for us in like December or January, because we knew we'd be ready by then. And he was like, I've got no gigs. The only gig I've got's October. Still like take it or leave it. So we thought, fuck it, we'll have to take it. And like the 6 weeks leading up to it, we were just all thinking like, fuck it.
Yes.
I was thinking, come in.
Yeah, and I was just sat there like, oh, what?
Yeah, but it sold out, so that's what I mean. Like we thought, we'll just go for it, and it sold out anyway. So then we had the pressure of like, there's going to be like 300 people. They watching our first like time on stage sort of thing. But since then, like the atmosphere and that was unreal. So since then, it's just been sort of like strength to strength. But that'd probably be my favourite. And then like
my favourite gig would be the O2 where we supported Red Rum, but it was on the main stage O2. You know what I mean? So it was like the first time we'd been on a stage that big with a crowd that big, and like, and then when we got off the stage, we've got some tune that hasn't been released yet, but it's got a dead catchy like riff that you can sing along to at the end. And we got off the stage and went down to the dressing room, and there was people in the crowd were still singing it and still going, what's it go like? I can't even remember what it goes like now. What's it go like? That's it. There's that many fucking riffs in our tunes. But anyway, yeah, they was all singing that, and we would do that for me was an eye opener. I just thought, fucking hell, I could do this every week, you know what I mean? That was a belt of that, like.
Yeah, that, like.
Yeah. So obviously, you're talking about you'd want to get back in the studio. What are your future plans? Like, is it to release like an EP?
That is the plan, like. But as I said, we want to tour off the back of the EP. But at the minute, we don't know when our next gig's going to be. Yeah. We've got most of our stuff rearranged for March, April. So it'd be nice to have it out by then. But again, I don't know whether we'll be able to do gigs.
Nah, I reckon we will. You know, I reckon the plan. What we've got at the minute, which is releasing the EP on the back of a tour next year. Obviously, if things go well with COVID, then that'll be that'll be the plan. I reckon we might get another single out though. Obviously,
we'll have to, won't we? Because it's
maybe a couple. It's a good job that we have got. It's a good job that we have always that we did smash them 3 years and stuff like that, because obviously we've got tunes there that are ready to release. If we just get in with Jose with the full tunes done, got a good 15 of them as well that we can pick from or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. We've got to be honest with you, mate. Tunes are the one thing that we've got. You know what I mean? We've got bangers that like not many people have heard. That's the one good thing that I think that's the thing that bands struggle on the most. But I reckon I'm fairly confident with the tracks that we've got. You know what I mean? That haven't been released yet. That they're probably some of the best tunes that I've heard. Standard. You know what I mean?
Standard, lad.
So like when they come out, I reckon the ball can roll a bit more. Like
we've got a few gigs, but we've got a few dates locked in. We've got 2 gigs in Scotland and one in Blackpool, which is sort of like between like April and I think they're between like April and June next year. I can't remember exactly. So I think if everything goes well, the plan would be a single like beginning of next year, an EP coming into the summer, and then a little tour on the back of it.
Yeah.
I reckon we hit them with a little tasty stingle for Kimbo, me, like, because it's been our last year.
It's just about keeping the fans like active. If you don't release a tune for a couple of months, you go at the bottom of the pile, so to speak, don't you? And you sort of forgot about it in a way. So if you keep releasing them, like a single every now and again, that's it. We just get them out there because it keeps people wanting more, and rather than like, because you don't want to release a tune and not do nothing for 6 months because especially with no gigs, because you'd half go off the map, don't you? So we probably are going to release another one, at least another tune anyway, whether that's the end of this year, start of next year, whatever. But the main focus is the EP and touring. But until then, all we can do is write bangers and keep up to date with the social medias and that. That's literally all any band can do at the minute.
Yeah, it is all just about graft, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this one's a bit of a weird, silly question. So if you could play with any band, could be like not together or still together, who would you play with?
50 Cent.
Fair enough. 50 Cent. He once played in.
He's a rapper, like not a band, but you know.
Yeah, fun.
He once played in Bournemouth, and he got like bottled off the stage for some reason. I don't know why.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that then. I'll pick a band. John Lennon in it, obviously.
To see the game in the O2 when we were kids.
Oh, lad, I missed that.
Oh, yeah. I went to see the game in the O2 years ago. Yeah. I don't know. I'd probably pick Oasis, me, like just the standard one, innit?
No, lad, if I did tune it, no, it'd be heavy, wouldn't it? Obviously.
Yeah, fucking not half.
I'd probably go for the Stones, mate, just because you're having a fucking mad.
Lad, they're all punters.
Yeah, but if they talk about like in the prime, you know what I mean?
Oh, what are we talking here in the prime? It's got to be John Lennon, lad. He nearly changed the world, lad.
There you go.
Come on, lad.
I'm going for the Stones, mate, lad.
Imagine being in a room and having a birthday with John Lennon, lad. Come on.
The Beatles, lad, innit?
Who you having?
Ringo would burn your fucking head out being scatty in the corner of the room. But fucking Paul would get kicked out, lad. And then obviously John and George would chill with the boys.
Yeah.
Amazing. So obviously, at the
Who's your
moment,
favourite band, Harry? Who would you be on a stage with?
I don't know. It does change a lot.
Yeah.
Like Oasis would probably be one of them, but then I really like Foo Fighters and Foals. It's very mood dependent.
Yeah, fair enough.
But probably Oasis.
Nah, it's got it. Surely it's got it. Even to chill with John Lennon in the studio, lad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be sick, like.
It would be mad to hear his thought process.
Imagine all the music.
So
and that looks like I'm in a brass cafe, lad, in this room, doesn't it? Looking red light.
Oh, that's it,
So at the moment we're recording during some Champions League games, and you are all Liverpool supporters, right?
Yeah.
So he isn't.
He's not.
Jay isn't, nah.
Johnny and Shep in the band are Liverpool fans, and then
just three blues.
We're all Everton fans, yeah. So
oh no. Oh, okay.
A bit of a clash there.
So
we're all Liverpool fans. If anyone asks, lad, champions of the world.
How has both your seasons gone in your opinion?
We got off to the fly, didn't we?
This is a very, very bad question to ask. A day after Derby day, we could be on for half an hour here arguing, you know, lad.
It's lucky Tom's
yeah, lad, if Tommy was here, it'd be fucking murder,
I'm not going to go on about it. We've had a good start, and that's all that
matters. We're still champions of everything.
We're being bumped by that VAR, though.
Yeah, lads, don't even mention it. Still makes me blood boil.
So where do you think you'll both finish at the end of the season?
Top.
We're
going to finish top and we're going to win the Champions League.
Do you like the confidence?
Lad, how can you not win the best team?
I know.
I don't know. There's just... So 7-2 against Villa wasn't ideal, was it?
Nah, fuck off, lad. Did you see all them deflections though and that? All them dodgy goals?
You couldn't wait to get that in him, lad.
No, sorry.
Nah,
I can't really talk about sport Bournemouth, so you know.
To be fair, my stepdad's a Villa fan, and he was in Turkey with me ma, and he won 7-0, and I was like, I'm not even speaking to him, and then I seen on me messenger on my Facebook messenger, he just put, "Do you want a can of 7-Up, lad? Bring them back." I was just like, I'm not even replying.
Well, it's been weird, isn't it, this season, without like the fans in there and that. It doesn't feel like it's actually back. You know what I mean? Like, keep forgetting that.
It's mad, isn't it?
I keep forgetting there's games.
They need to bring something in where the fans need to get back, because I think that's why all the results as well have been.
I know, yeah, it is, yeah, because the crowd, especially at Anfield, the crowd fucking gets behind you and that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
certain teams going away from home and getting like results that they wouldn't usually get.
Yeah, because it's like friendly, isn't it? You can just, I mean, you can hear the fans on the fan noise on the telly, like, but it's just be like a training session or something with all the shouts and that, wouldn't it? For I imagine for the player, like.
At the start of the season, I fancied Man City because obviously it suits their style of play better with no fans. Like footballing, do you know what I mean? Footballing, player for player, they're probably on paper they're probably the best team, but I think Liverpool play better with fans and that, don't they? So
yeah.
That's why it's shit, innit? Without fans, it's shit.
It is.
Haven't Germany gone back though? Haven't Germany got some fans back, like a certain capacity or something?
I think they've got a few. I think they've got a few fans back in stadiums in certain games.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if they were trialing it though. I'm not too sure, to be honest. They need it back though, man. What do you do, Harry? What has lockdown affected you with your work or?
No, it's been alright.
Yeah,
we stayed open, so it's all good.
Yeah. What do you do, lad?
Oh, I work in fast food.
Yeah.
Like in Mackey's, you know how it is.
It's right.
Yeah. Gotta get the dough in some way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Alright, so I remember there was a game this season that Bournemouth played, and I think it was Middlesbrough away, and they had a few fans in, which is a bit weird.
It's better, like, you know, like that's what you need. Something needs to happen where there's more fans. Anything like, did you see that London Paladonium or whatever it was?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Absolutely packed. You know what I mean? It wouldn't even surprise me if the fucking Southern team started getting fans in before we did up here. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, fucking laugh. I seen the and then it was like the day after or something. Liverpool got put in tier 3, didn't they? Or like it might have been the day before or whatever, or the same day as that picture come out of all fucking everyone in that what you call a Palladium or whatever.
Yeah, like, we got tier 3 lockdown. We can't even go for a scram with our mates. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they're all going to watch a fucking play in London, sat next to each other like the Mask are going to do anything. Fucking scandal.
It has been the whole lockdown and COVID situation has been handled horrifically, but you know,
it just seems to be because we've got a Tory government, lad. You know what I mean? That's plain and simple. That is it.
Yeah.
Joke. We should have knew. What do you like? Theresa May fucked off. David Cameron fucked off. Boris Johnson's fucking it up and is still in power.
No, it's crazy.
Look, I'm saying it's rigged.
But I can't see anyone like not like I just see them getting in power again. That's the thing.
Obviously.
Like,
no, it's just that's it, and it's fucking that's what does your head in. It baffles you, to be honest with you, because you think, hold on a minute, like, do you really think these people give a shite about you and that? Because they're all for themselves. Look at that, they won't even like feed kids, but they're all taking pay rises and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like you must be mad to like look at that and think, oh yeah, that's fair, innit? You know what I mean? Give him a pay rise, but don't feed these kids and that.
You have like
they're just different models, innit?
You have like Rashford doing more than like
tax-free dough, having expenses for all lavish luxury hotels and fucking free meals for the hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and there's kids literally fucking starving. It's because half of the country have lived through the poverty and half of the country haven't lived through the poverty. Like, some of the country have seen it and some of them haven't, so that's why the stupid ones, they can get in their head because they've never really experienced it, you know what I mean, or seen it or been around it, you know what I mean? It's a joke. Not even Marcus Rashford's a gangster as well, by the way. You get a
sick man.
I was just about to mention him where he's saying like professional footballer has done more for kids than this government has.
Yeah, really though.
Of course. It's annoying,
look at the music industry, what we're all a part of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what the fuck, lad, you know what I mean? It brings in billions and that, and they don't even want to support people. You've got people who like, even like, well, put it this way: if our main income was being in a band, we'd all be fucking snookered, wouldn't we? We'd be goosed, you know what I mean? Wouldn't have no income for God.
That's what I was thinking about yesterday with them building that massive new arena in Manchester. It's like, it's not needed. Like, there's so many small venues that need the help right now. Why aren't they funding those venues?
I know, they've already got fucking, has it got that Manchester arena anyway?
Yeah, they've already
I don't know why they're building
like,
one in Manchester, like.
I don't know.
Having this Tory government and then the way they've handled it is just economic suicide, I swear.
And it's just like, they've announced it like the worst time when the music industry is on its arse at the moment.
It's arse though. It's so scary, innit? Because we carry. Surely they've got to fund something. They can't just leave everyone else on their arses, can they? Surely not.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Or like, what?
It's really frustrating. Like, it's really like.
Them anyway.
I know.
Onwards and upwards. Hopefully, it's all done soon.
It's been a challenging time, hasn't it?
Yeah,
very, very challenging. Very for many. I can only imagine. We're lucky we've got the band and we've got like things going on. Do you know what I mean? And like there's people out there sat in a room on their own now that they can't. Even old people I've seen something on Twitter, and like them old regulars who go to the pub every single night, not for anything, maybe because they've lost a wife or something. They have a conversation at that bar, you know what I mean? And people like that, can you imagine what they're going through? There's going to be more people
lonely like that.
At the bottom of fucking seas and fucking rivers than there is COVID's going to kill them. I'm telling you now.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. It's like people are getting old. Don't get me wrong. Some people are taking bad turns and that. And stuff, but I know a lot of people who've tested positive and haven't had symptoms and stuff like that, and it's just like, is this the deadly virus that they're talking about? That's gonna wipe you out after the boys have had and was sweet. You know what I mean? It never wiped no one out there, did it? It's just like, well, I do get where people are worried about it, and because you've got family members who don't want to, but it's just, it gets to a point where it's like, fucking, I don't know, it's just.
I do think this government really gives a shit about these people dying from COVID. Are you fucking mad? They're not feeding kids, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
It's plain humanity fucking stuff. It's just insane, innit? It's just outrageous. It's just mad. It's just absolutely mad. Mad. I feel sorry for them types of people, though. Like, obviously, you've got to count your blessings and say fucking, like, obviously we've got the bang going on. We still got Liverpool winning games. Get it?
Who scored, yeah.
Yes, lad.
Who scored, lad?
Fucking Jota, you know that.
I was slating
when this gets played back and put on whatever, that's going to look so fixed, but can assure you it's actually not.
These editors don't listen to him.
That was perfect.
That was great timing. Immaculate timing.
Liverpool are still winning games, and then this happens. Get on it.
Disallowed. Daddy's miles off there.
What, are you mad?
Lad, they probably still. What? They're not goal taking that to VAR, are they? No chance.
Nah. Trent again with the assist, man. Fucking Mickey.
He's shite.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, lad. Get in!
Who are you playing again? Yeah. I can't remember who it was.
I can't even pronounce them, man.
Danish team. No. To be fair, they've been looking good, but Trent's just had it every game, hasn't he? Every game. Jota, man, get in. That was fucking perfect timing. That's a joke. Timing. Yeah, anyway, so you've got to count your blessings because Liverpool is still winning games.
Right. So thank you, Johnny, Jay and Shepherd, for coming on Talk Fight Podcast. You can find Columbia on Spotify, YouTube, and all your socials. And yeah, it's a pleasure having you, lads. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, nice one for having us. How long have you been doing it, Harry, by the way, anyway? How long have you had this all set up on there?
Since me and my mate had one like last year, but nothing really took off of it, and we tried it in April before lockdown, which is a perfect time to start doing it. And then they just sort of said, right, we've got something good here. So we stuck with it and kept like persisting with it. And now it's doing all right. Like we got Jamie Webster on the other, like, a few months ago.
Which is
quite good.
Yeah, he's killing it at the minute, Jamie. Like,
he's Dark kid as well. He's sound as well.
Yeah. Nice for having us on, and that was nice for us to get on and get our so close.
Nice one, mate. Appreciate that. Thank you.
That's right, no problem. Cheers,
mate.
Nice one,
take it easy.
Cheers.
To that.
Cheers.
Peace.